Hi, this is Renate, and this is the nutshell version of my 63 years of life. If I need to get it a title, the title would be From Driving to Diving to Guiding to Thriving. Now I'll start when I was 16 years old. I had big fights with my dad about higher education because I wanted to go to high school and then I wanted to go to college. And he was thinking for me as a girl and as the oldest of five, um, it's not necessary, it's a waste because then I would marry and then all of that time was wasted. I just recently realized that I actually have to thank my dad for that because with this, he laid the foundation for me to be a lifelong learner. Probably also the reason why I never got married, but that's a different story. So when I was 18, I didn't need to have his consent, so I applied for several colleges for social work, and it took me 2 years to get accepted by one. 3 years of hard studies, 1 year of internship, and then I had to wait for another year for my last internship. So there was the question, there is no financial support, so I have to work. And I had the option between working in a bar or go for taxi driving. And since I love car driving, I went for the taxi license. Little did I know that this would turn into a 25 years full-time job. Because after 1 year, I did my last internship and then I did my exam and I was supposed to get a job as a social worker. Turned out the world needed social workers, but nobody wanted to pay for them. So I stuck with taxi driving. I did other things in between. I did school for natural medicine. I did driver's license. I did drumming and dancing. But I stuck with taxi driving because this one gave me the time freedom. Yes, when I was working, those phases were hard. I worked 50 to 60 hours a week on 6 days, sometimes 7, throughout all the holidays. But the holidays were always my favorite days to work because no one else wanted to work and I didn't have the family, and everybody was grateful that I was carrying them. The time freedom it gave me allowed me to escape the winters. I never liked winters, so I spent long winters traveling, and in 94 actually, I discovered diving. And scuba diving, I could say, was love on the first dip. Also, my first instructor already planted the seed. He said, Renate, one day you will be a scuba instructor. So within 1 year, I became a dive master, what was basically the instructor's assistant, and I could lead divers around the beautiful reefs. And then in 95, my best friend moved to Barbados, so I spent the next 7 winters with her on this lovely Caribbean island, working as a dive master as much as possible. 2003, I decided it is time for the next step, so I came to Thailand to do my instructor's license, and for 12 and a half straight years, I worked full-time as a scuba diver, as a scuba instructor, most of the time here in Thailand. In between, I have been away for work in the Dominican Republic and Crete, but that was only a bit more than 1 year. Since 2005, I'm back here in Thailand. Good 6 years on Koh Tao. That was a little 20 square kilometer island on the east coast of Thailand in the Gulf. And since 9 years, I'm here in Khao Lak. I came here still to work as an instructor, but a year later, here on the west coast, there is no diving in the summertime, what is our rain season. So I started working as a guide. So I showed people around the lovely areas we have here: national parks, elephants, rafting, diving. So very lovely. I worked in that area, guest relation and showing the wonders of this wonderful country for the next 8 years. And then along came COVID. It interrupted our high season in March already, and all the tourists were forced to go home. And now I'm sitting here since 5 months in my wonderful bungalow. And now it's coming to the part from guiding to a different kind of guiding. During the last couple of months, I went deep into the inner work, and I discovered my hidden purpose. Not so hidden, but most of the time a bit ignored by me. And I had the pleasure to meet a few very good coaches online, and a few of them tooted the same horn, telling me, Renate, you are a coach. Think about it, embrace it, call yourself a coach. So beginning of this month, I had a lovely visibility challenge with Christian Mickelson. And on day one, he said, I know all of you are coaches. You just need to name it and decide which kind of coach you want to be. So I was sitting and meditating with that a couple of days, and then I decided, okay, what sounds scary but quite right to me is accountability life coach. The next day brought the next challenge. He said, okay, now it's time to make that public. So I did that. I changed 3 of my social media accounts. So it is written there now. And I continue to work on my website, what was an ongoing project basically since about 10 years. So that's where the thriving part comes in. And I'm very grateful that I have all these opportunities now. The time is not easy without any income, but also the inner work and all the gratitude work is doing magic in my life. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to have the time and basically being forced to go for it. Okay, that's it. That was from driving to diving to guiding to thriving. Thank you for listening. I wish you all a lovely day.